All right, this video is to help demonstrate how to design the pear cam. And I am kind of doing this on the fly, so I apologize in advance if not everything works exactly perfectly. Just kind of bear with me. So you're going to start a sketch, and as always, by default, unless we want to put the sketch on a different plane, we're going to pick that XY plane for our sketch. Now, before I show you how to do this, I'll give you an idea of like what I did originally when I had to do this. You know that when you're doing the line tool, that you can actually do arcs with the line tool. And so when I first tried to do the pear cam, I did something like this. Like I started with a line and then did the arc and then continued with the straight line and then did this like other arc and made the pear like that. Now that is actually a totally okay way to make that particular shape. And in fact, it looks like Fusion does this better than Inventor. Actually, this might actually work with Fusion. It did not work with Inventor because with Inventor, you lost the center of the two circles. And so when I wanted to place the circle in the center of the cam, like where the center of the bottom circle is, I didn't have the circle. It actually looks like Fusion is going to let you do that. And I was not expecting that when I recorded this to see the center of the circles there. So if you would like to do it or just practice that way, go for it. And, we'll see what happens, I guess. The way you convert over from that line to that arc is by either holding or releasing the mouse button. And it will automatically turn your line into an arc. And what it does is it automatically puts those tangent constraints on it so that you have a smooth closed profile. What you needed to do in Inventor, and it's actually not a bad idea to do this here anyway, is you need to create it with two circles and the tangent lines. So you would create a circle like this as the bottom of your cam, and then you would dimension this. Now, remember when you're dimensioning, if you are dimensioning a radius versus a diameter. So if you look at the specs, it says the radius for yours needs to be 1 1/4 inches. But notice when you're dimensioning this, that you're dimensioning the circle, you're dimensioning the diameter. And so if you want the radius to be 1 1/4, you need to double that for the diameter. So you'd be looking at 2.5 inches. Okay, so just be really, really cautious of that. Then we do the circle up above it. Okay, and we can dimension that, and that is supposed to be dimensioned at a radius of 1/4 inch. So remember, you're doing a diameter, so you need it to be 1/2 inch. And then what I'm going to do is put a vertical constraint on these because I don't want the cam to be lopsided. And the one that I did earlier was tilted sideways. And so you would need to do something similar with that, is like to get it oriented the right way. And so I'm going to click on a vertical constraint. I'm going to click on the first center and then the second center. And what that does is that lines them up so that my cam is not going to be wobbly. So you need to put that vertical constraint on there. Pick the point that you want to remain where it is first, and then you pick the other point, and then Fusion will move the second point to line up with the first one vertically. Now we're going to put the sides of the pear cam, and so I just chose the line tool, and I'll come over here and come over here. Okay, and you'll notice that Fusion put an automatic tangent constraint on this down here, but they are all supposed to be tangent, and so I need to put that tangent constraint on the rest of them. Notice like you click the line and then you click the circle and the line and the circle, and now you can tell that all of them have that nice tangent constraint on them. All right, now moving on, we've got extra pieces in here that we don't actually want. And so under the tool bar, I'm going to pick under the modify panel, I'm going to pick trim, and I'm actually going to trim these inner pieces of the circle off. And I am getting a warning for that, and it's like gone. Constraints and or dimensions were removed during this operation. hopefully we're okay. All right, and then we've got a couple more things that we need to put in. We need to put in the distance from the top circle to the bottom circle. So I'll click my dimension tool and make sure that you're grabbing the right thing. So I'm grabbing the center and the center, and let me zoom out, make sure that I'm dimensioning the right thing. And that needed to be, I actually didn't write it down on mine. I don't know why I didn't write it. Oh, because I wasn't going to do the whole thing for you. That's why. So I don't know what that dimension is, but you do because you've got the specs in front of you and I don't. Then let's just say it's like, we'll just say it's 1 1/4 inches, like, well, something like that. I think that might even be what it is. All right, and then we have a circle, and that circle needs to be centered in the bottom, and that circle has a diameter of 1/4 of an inch. Okay, and what do I have going on here? I have other pieces of stuff. I'm going to trim that out if it will let me. No, it's not. Oh, it's not letting me trim it out because it's using that to dimension the diameter of the circle, so it's not letting me trim it. I think we're okay with that. All right, and then the last thing that we need to do is extrude that. So we'll go ahead and extrude the profile to 0.25 inches, and voila, we have our pear cam built to the appropriate specifications. All right, and then you guys know what to do from there. And then you should be able to submit that. Submit, had something crawling up my wall. It's dead now. Make sure that I can see all of the relevant parts on there when you're doing the specification and or the screenshot for it, that I can see that you've done it correctly. And I guess we should be good to go.